A brick factory in Ohio just got one of the strangest bills of the AI boom. Its electricity costs jumped by about 90%. One monthly capacity charge went from $1,600 to $12,000. This was not a software company. It was not an AI lab. It was not a server farm. It was Belden Brick, a 141-year-old manufacturer in Sugar Creek, Ohio. And the shock came because America's power grid is being pulled in a new direction. Data centers are arriving so fast that old industrial companies are starting to feel the pressure in their electricity bills. Across PJM, the largest grid operator in the United States, capacity prices jumped from $28.92 per megawatt day to $329.17. That is more than 10 times higher. And this is the part of artificial intelligence that almost never appears in the demo. The chatbot looks clean. The image generator looks weightless. The AI assistant looks like software. But behind it is a very physical machine. Servers, cooling systems, backup power, transformers, substations, transmission lines, and a constant demand for electricity. That electricity comes from the same grid that powers factories, kilns, warehouses, plastics plants, steel, electronics, and industrial America. Our view is simple. AI may not hit factories first by replacing workers. It may hit them first by raising the cost of keeping the lights on. That is the real signal. The AI race is leaving the screen, and it is arriving inside the power bill.
Belden Brick is the kind of company politicians usually point to when they talk about rebuilding American manufacturing. Real products, real furnaces, real workers, real energy costs. Its bricks have been used in places like the Alamo and the University of Notre Dame. But according to Reuters, the company's electricity costs rose by about 90% last year. Its monthly capacity charge jumped from $1,600 to $12,000. The company raised brick prices by 4%, and profits still shrank. That is where the story stops being abstract. A big tech data center can be financed by billions of dollars. A brick factory cannot simply double the price of bricks because someone else built a server farm nearby. And that is the uncomfortable part of this AI boom. Factories do not only pay for the electricity they use, they also pay for the system being ready when demand peaks. That means power plants, transmission, reserves, and grid reliability. In normal times, this is just part of the industrial electricity bill. But when the market suddenly expects huge new demand from data centers, the price of being ready can explode. That is what happened in PJM. PJM covers a major industrial region, from New Jersey to northern Illinois and down toward Tennessee. It includes old manufacturing areas. It also includes some of the most attractive zones for new data centers. That overlap is the story. Old factories and new AI infrastructure are landing on the same grid. But data centers can be planned faster than power plants can be built. They can be financed faster than transmission can be upgraded. They can ask for electricity faster than regulators can redesign the market. So the bill arrives before the infrastructure does. This is why manufacturers are angry. They are not saying AI should disappear. They are not saying data centers should never be built. They are saying the cost should not be pushed blindly onto older industries that did not create the surge. A hyperscale data center and a brick factory are not the same kind of customer. Reuters reported that the power needs of companies like Meta and Amazon can dwarf even large manufacturers by a factor of 50. But in some systems, factories can still end up inside the same broad industrial customer class as the new data center giants. That creates a strange situation. A company making bricks, plastics, glass, or metal can get pulled into the cost shock created by a company training AI models. The factory did not build the server racks. It did not ask for the new demand. It did not create the bottleneck. But it may still pay a higher bill.
and the numbers are big enough to change decisions. PJM capacity prices rose more than 1,000% in roughly 2 years. Industrial electricity prices rose 31% in Pennsylvania and 26% in Ohio over 12 months. The national industrial increase was 7%. So this is not pain spread evenly across the country. It is concentrated where manufacturing and data centers are colliding on the same electrical system. And when a factory's power bill jumps, the options are ugly. Raise prices, cut costs, delay expansion, move production, run at different hours, build your own power, or absorb the hit until margins disappear. Reuters reported that Plaskolite, a plastics manufacturer with facilities in Pennsylvania and Ohio, saw capacity charges jump from $200,000 a year to $1.2 million annually. That is a 6 times increase. That is not a line item. That is a boardroom problem. Another manufacturer is considering moving more production to the graveyard shift because electricity is cheaper. Think about that for a second. The AI boom is not only changing what software companies build, it may change when physical factories choose to operate.
The bigger problem is that this is happening at the same time America's power demand is moving toward record levels. The Energy Information Administration expects U.S. electricity use to rise from 4,195 billion kilowatt-hours in 2025 to 4,269 billion in 2026, then to 4,399 billion in 2027. The drivers are data centers, AI, crypto, electrification, and the broader shift from fossil fuels to electricity. The commercial sector is expected to use more electricity than the residential sector in 2026 for the first time on record. That is a major signal. For decades, U.S. electricity demand was relatively flat. Now, a new kind of load is arriving. Huge data centers, always-on compute, AI training, AI inference, cloud services, video generation, enterprise AI, and later, possibly robotics, autonomous vehicles, and industrial AI systems. This is not the old internet anymore. This is software turning into heavy industry. But we should be fair. Data centers are not the only reason electricity costs are rising. Old infrastructure matters. Power plant retirements matter. Transmission bottlenecks matter. Extreme heat matters. Permitting delays matter. Fuel costs matter. Local politics matter. And the data center industry has a real argument. America needed grid investment anyway. That part is true. America does need more power, more transmission, faster permitting, more storage, stronger substations, better planning. But the hard question is not whether the grid needs investment. The hard question is who pays while the grid catches up. If big tech builds the data centers, but factories get hit with higher capacity charges, the AI boom becomes politically fragile. Because then, AI is not just a productivity story, it becomes a cost transfer story. A new industry with huge capital arrives. The grid tightens, prices rise, and older industries get squeezed before they see the promised benefits. This is the irony. AI is being sold as the tool that will make factories smarter, better scheduling, predictive maintenance, automated inspection, robotic logistics, faster design, lower waste, more efficient production. But before AI improves the factory, the data center that runs AI may raise the factory's electricity bill. That is the contradiction. AI promises productivity later, but the utility bill arrives now. A factory owner does not pay electricity with future AI efficiency. He pays it this month. He pays gas this month. He pays materials, labor, insurance, debt, maintenance, and taxes this month. If power costs jump too quickly, the promise of AI does not help him. And this also changes the comparison with China. China is trying to build the power system around AI before the bottleneck becomes a wall. America is already discovering what happens when data centers grow faster than parts of the grid. That does not mean China has solved the problem, and it does not mean America cannot solve it.
But it shows two different stages of the same race. China is trying to plan the AI power layer. America is already feeling the AI power bill. Our conclusion is this: AI is becoming heavy industry. It may appear as software on a screen, but it behaves like an industrial load on the grid. The next AI bottleneck will not only be chips, it will be power. And the next AI conflict may not be between two chatbots. It may be between data centers and factories fighting for the same grid capacity. America has the models. It has big tech. It has capital. It has demand. But now it needs the physical system underneath all of that. Power plants, transmission, substations, transformers, storage, cooling, permits, local approval, and rate structures that do not punish the wrong customers. If America gets that right, AI can strengthen the economy. If it gets it wrong, the country may discover that the first major bill from artificial intelligence was not mass unemployment. It was electricity. That is the signal. AI is no longer just a race for better models. It is becoming a race for power, infrastructure, and industrial balance. And right now, that race has reached the factory gate.